Hey YouTube, it's Ray, and today I'm back with another story time. And today's story is about how I was forced to become vegan in order to survive. So as I grew up, my family was the normal eating family. You eat meats, chicken, pasta, all of that stuff. But for some reason, I couldn't digest pork chops. So we went to the doctor, and the doctor just said that it was just one of those foods I couldn't digest. So we just moved on from it, and I just didn't eat pork chops. But as it progressed, I then started to have iron and electrolytes problems. And we went to the doctor, and they just said to drink Gatorade, so I did. But after drinking the Gatorade, I just felt like crap, and we just continued as if it was normal. I just kept eating and just staying away from the pork chops. So fast forward to when I'm 11 and I'm just eating meals I always eat and I can't digest anything. I literally feel so sick. I'm losing an insane amount of weight, and it just gets to a point where it's very, very unhealthy. So I go to the doctors and they say nothing's wrong. So for myself, I just try to cut out meat a little bit and start eating like a pescatarian, because I know fish is a little lighter. And I thought maybe it was like the pork chops, maybe it was just too heavy. But it's like the end of me being 11, the end of the year, and I can't eat the meat either, or nor dairy. I start feeling sick again, and I start throwing up, and I start losing weight again. So then we go to the doctor, new doctor, and they tell me that I can't digest animal byproduct. So that was the turning point. And although it sucked, it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense to how I wasn't able to eat pork chops, and while the Gatorade was making me feel like crap too, because that has animal derived dyes in it. And then it also made sense to how I wasn't able to digest the fish or any dairy either. So I start this long journey of being vegan, but the thing is, I have to panically search for protein because I have already lost an insane amount of weight at this point. So they give me the little pamphlet, but the only vegan protein that's really on there is beans. So it wasn't much help, honestly. So then I continue searching. I start searching on YouTube, and there wasn't too much. There was a little here and there. Like, I learned a few vegetables that had protein in it, but it wasn't really enough protein to give me the ounce that I need. And why these doctors were better than the ones before, they weren't the best or even decent enough, because they didn't give me any vitamins, protein powder, or anything to help supplement the stuff I needed. So then I find this YouTuber called Sustainably Vegan, and I end up learning a whole lot from her, and also the channels she recommends. And then those channels just added more recommendations to my YouTube. I started learning foods to incorporate, and that stuff like smoothie bowls and protein, and chickpeas and lentils and flax seeds and stuff like that added to your meals would definitely boost the protein. And when I tell you, I was so happy with the results of that, because I went from staying at that 70 to barely 80 era to going into the hundreds just about like I'm supposed to be. And that was definitely a huge change for me. And while the journey was definitely hard, it made me feel good that I was able to accomplish that and get that done, especially with the help of the vegan community. And I also learned a lot about the environment in general. I learned how much I care for the environment and the cycle, and that led me to create a separate Instagram that I have that's for environmental awareness. And I also currently have a part-time job for environmental awareness as well. So it not only helped me save myself from being on a feeding tube, but it also helped me choose a career path and just showed me what I was truly passionate about. Like, I knew I loved going outside and I loved like seeing plants and going to explore my hometown, but I never really knew the cycle of everything, and just learning this journey definitely helped with that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, or ramble if you want to call it that. Bye, YouTube.